Welcome. This is our session on what's new on Microsoft Release Wave 2 for Dynamics and Power Platform. We are AlfaPeople. We are a partner specializing in Dynamics and Power Platform and AI, and we work internationally. And as I mentioned already, our focus today will be Dynamics ERP, customer engagement, and Power Platform, new features and functions, and what's coming in the Wave 2 release. The agenda will start with ERP, covering finance and supply chain, and covering Business Central by Elio, our specialist in this area. Then we're going to talk about Power Platform and all the new things that are coming and are being made available by Felipe. He's our customer engagement and Power Platform specialist, so he's also going to do the customer engagement session right after that. Each session is going to be about 30 minutes. Feel free to leave and come back anytime. You will receive the full deck and the full presentation later. But if you're not interested in ERP, feel free to come back in 30 minutes. Or if you're not interested in customer engagement, feel free to leave after we're done with Power Platform. Okay. We will have a Q&A session at the end of each session so that we cover each topic separately. And then just a quick wrap up at the end with some announcements from our side. A few things to discuss before we get started. As I mentioned, the recording will be available afterwards, right? We will share also the presentation with the relevant links in it. Pay attention to the presentation. You'll see it's a full list of all topics that we're not going to cover today. We're going to cover only the most relevant ones. But in the presentation, you have all topics which are included in this wave so that you can access it later if you want. We'll also send a survey, which is for us is very important. So we will appreciate a lot if you take just 2 minutes to complete. It's a very quick survey to talk about how do you rate the presentation that we're doing today. Feel free to ask your questions by writing in the chat, okay? And we will address them at the end of each session. Just to frame the discussion, what are the release waves, right? Traditionally, Microsoft has been grouping new features and functions and changes to their products in 2 waves. They call it waves, 2 minutes, 2 points in time during the year, typically in April and October, right? When this was not online, it was very, very important way to distribute these new things. So you would implement and test and everything twice every year. As things are online now, these improvements, they get released over time. They don't have to be grouped in a wave, but still Microsoft groups logically these changes in a wave to communicate and to prepare the market. So they still work with waves and they are communicated typically a little earlier. So for wave 2, in July, they communicate what the plans are. In August, we start having access to all the details, and in October, the updates start, okay? In this wave, in this presentation, we're going to be covering the new features that has been released also for wave 1 more recently, and what's coming for wave 2 in the future. All right, okay, so let's get started. Elio, it's your turn.
Oh, good morning, everyone. So here is our agenda for today. We're going to get the deprecations and replacement for finance, supply chain, and business central. Then we'll go to what is new in finance, supply, then what's new in business central. Our deprecation replacements, the main one on the supply chain, the job card is deprecated, and 1 year from the release 41, they be completely gone from the product. Support may be eventually be removed as well. Still in the supply chain, the inventory transaction support for internal warehouse operation is deprecated since the 41. Existing customer may continue to use this one, but we recommend that we move to warehouse specific transactions because a year after release one, the support will be removed for all and required to move it. So you have time to plan your moving to the new functions. The release to warehouse page is deprecated from 41. Is now hiding the application. You can ask to be enabled if necessary, but we strongly recommend that you move to release sales orders and release transfer orders to the warehouse. They have the equivalent functionality, but significantly improve the performance. This Reddit warehouse chain here will be completely removed 1 year approximately after 41. Load planning workbench deprecated since 39, and this is now hidden as well. The first one you can require it to be available if necessary, but move to the inbound and outbound loading planning workbenches. Again, they have the equivalent functionality, but they improve the performance. Security protocols. Microsoft is moving the security to base authentication since the 39 and great release. The support for the existing one will be end on next month, quite short. So you'll have a bit time to prepare the move as well. Azure Direct Graph. The support for this function will be end on the release 66. And the SharePoint integration authentication use a trustable connection, meaning that Microsoft is caring about the security, so move to the base authentication. And support for unregistered account and external Microsoft IDs already was ended in May 24. So for your security, move to the new one. In Business Central, the API 1.0 is going out. It's going to be replaced by the API 2. This is to gain more speed to get more productivity. So to transition between 1 and 0 should be quite simple because they have the same functions. But you have some doubts, you need to find out information about this address. The legacy time sheet experience. So Business Central is replacing that for pages instead of worksheets. These pages that you access this information from mobile device, more friendly interaction. So make your life easier to work. And Excel reports gain some more functions, some more models that you can start your definition and adapt those the reports for your reality. Moving out to the what's new in finance operations. The Copilot and AI is the focus on giving the productivity insights to the customer. So developers now in finance operation application can extend this Copilot experience for your own application, now adding capability through plugins. So explore this is going to give you more and more insight and more productivity during the applications. Archive data. This is a very important topic. Why? Because saving space, you gain performance. Normally, transactions are kept alive and available all the time, even there are transactions from 5-6 years ago. If you are not making analysis or many consults on that, we suggest that you use the archive to save space and to gain in performance. Templates for consolidation. That's very useful when you have different scenarios around the world. So you need to collect the data and do different procedures per company. So you create a template so you can work more efficiently and set up and process them as I need. So the full history of this consolidation will be viewed and available for you. You can take notes. You can see and mark every single process as reviewed. So you have a rolling process to control the different scenarios and gain speed and confidence. Well, the accounts payable workspace, that's a pretty nice situation where you can, in just one page, get all the information that you need from, for instance, the vendor. So you are just one page, you see what you need to pay, what is due, what's coming, what electronic documents you need to get. So if you are concentrating just on page, then you can speed up the analysis and the results. The bank reconciliation now supported by the Copilot. So the Copilot is going to be inside to give you hints of what is matching, what is missed, what is the new transaction that you have in the specific statement that you received for the bank. So basically, the concern is about the productivity and how you handle the information, what you are not seeing when you are doing that. The Copilot again to support you in the vendor invoicing exception. So what is that? Is that during when you receive a invoice, you can have difference in amounts, in quantities, in items that are listed on that particular invoice. So the Copilot is going to tell you what's not good, give you some hints on that one, what you need to really take care. So this instruction come on the middle if you already received the material, if you already had some missed information that you did not post or not take care. So this is going to be the summary of this one. Insights. Insights are very strategic decisions that support the strategic decision operation efficiently. So this is analysis tool that get the raw information or transaction that has no meaning individual unless the support of the physical or financial information and transform that in a strategic decision. The advanced report visualization tools can get this and make this a metrics, enable you to track performance, identify trends, and capitalize opportunities. Oh, here you go. This analysis is going to give you the possibility to compare revenues, cash flow, expense, trial balances, gross margin that's happening in your company that can be configured by yourself and really push the information back to the decision makers. The dimension row level security, that's a new function, very cool one that treat the information, the level of security based on the profile of the user, the role that he's performing inside. Means that the security model minimize the risks of unauthorized access, protect sensitive information because it's related to the user that really takes care about that or need the necessary by the whole. That saves a lot of time when configuring permissions and so on. The customer page is a way to get the 360 information by your customer. Just navigate and get everything about what's coming in, what is the forecast, what are the open transaction that has with you. That's a dashboard where you can navigate about everything about the customer. And the workflow summary, a system that support all the workflow that running inside the company in just one page. So meaning that you do not to navigate in different page to try to find something. Moving to project operations. So progress-based billing of fixed price contracts, the future support additional progress-based contracting models for project-based companies, and allowed you to fix a exchange rate for the whole process. Even the rate the exchange is moving for this particular contract is going to keep the rate specified on this situation. And Copilot to support you in the time entry information that is going to is supported by the Power Generative information from AI and simplify how you log your time for day-to-day transactions. In the supply chain, we track sales inventory visibility, extend the system integration in the supply chain. So now you can get accurate information from inventory availability. This enables to use from a sales order, share, find specific spare parts, and a clear view of what material is available or not for a delivery. For the ones that control the quality material and need to control even the transit material that are coming, not arriving in your warehouse yet, you can have specific information to assure that when you receive the goods, it will be in the condition that is expected. And for the ones that are caring about what is the support of a sale, need to comply with legislation like the German one, and need to trace and make some recalls. Now the system support you since the July with the trace goods through the supply chain. And you can approve the purchase orders directly from a mobile device, giving you more flexibility. That is already available and can start being used. Very cool, this one. And that in the Copilot empower you to make a more tailored configuration. So the Copilot can be used to help inside your company how to do the things, how to manage the system, working like a oriented navigation for anything that you need to do. So let's move. I'm just switching the window. So just going back, so Microsoft is aware about the productivity, so he allows you to use the short keys when you are doing something. So if you press the Alt button, you can see that is going to get the same behavior that you have in Outlook, Excel, and so on. So you can use the Alt and I, and then go straight to the items list instead clicking if you feel more comfortable with that one. The second thing available in Business Central is now you can define the row size straight on without using the personalization for that. Cannot move the screens yet, the columns yet, but I'm pretty sure that's going to come in soon. Adding a files that most things are now made by electronic file, you can now drag and drop inside the system any file that you need very fast. Even the OCR files, if you need to get in, very easy. You open the thing, get a file for somewhere, and drag inside the system, release it. That's very fast, very useful as electronic documents is something that is part of our day-to-day things. You can even make these documents available, for instance, in the purchase and sales process or services from the item card. For customer perspective, you can now have available for you different address. See customer list related. If you have different VID, VAT for this customer, you can now attach this information in the customer card straight up. The sustainability situation, Microfast provides you a way, if you are aware, and so for the stakeholders, share the information of emission for gas, the consumption of electricity, water, and so on, and give a like a statement of that information attached to your documents that make the company increase their business value and demonstrate to the others. System now provides them the possibility to integrate business data straight on of field service management, meaning that from the business field service you can see the inventory that the spare parts are available, make the requisition for that one, and without need to get an email or get a direct contact. The new name applied for projects we used to find jobs. So jobs now is directly to the tasks itself, and the project now new name projects. New features available inside the project are you can now create a warehouse peak in directly from the project. So meaning that you don't need to go to the warehouse and create the inventory or a warehouse peak and then relate that to the particular project. You can start the operation from here. That saves a lot of time. Besides that, when planning some project lines, if for any reason you need a specific quantity of material and this is not available, the system through intelligence is going to advise you, okay? Saying, okay, you don't have this material, but you can start the purchase order or purchase invoice straight from the project. That go to the purchase and on the lines state which line of the project is going to receive. You create the purchase order straight on from the projects. Very nice. So, new reports. The final reports model that is already known for many of us have more new models available. So from now the list is increased and you can start from different and very cool models. For the bank reconciliation, so behind the scenes we have the copilot available to drive you to the conciliation. We have two things that he can do for you. He can be an assistant, providing you how to step by step on the elect bank that you are going to do. So suggesting you which kind of file are you going to use, which configuration to do step by step. Besides that, while applying the configuration or applying the bank reconciliation is going to help you to finally find the matching lines of the bank statement against the transaction that you already did. To support the creation of some tests. So system allowed you using the copilot to give details about your product. So meaning that you can create some text for provide or connect your material to the internet for material that you use to display or to send to your customer. That if you are not very creative. Sometimes you can ask them to create a task for you. For this particular task, you can use different approach for the same item. The information used to create that is based on the item card attributes that or categories that you apply to this product. That make the life very easy because it's going to speed up what you need to really make as a message. If you are not really inspired that day, you can ask them to start, then to finish. So the task will be available for you, so you can connect even for your e-commerce or this the Shopify available in the system or others, of course. System now brings together what they call analysis view. It's a pivot table for the ones that like the Excel use. You can do this straight on the system use again. The Copilot to help you. For instance, grouping the items by a category, by attributes, by any information that you have available in columns. By, for instance, number. Of course, you can do this manually, but in this way, you can use natural language to talk to the system. So the system is going to perform your ask. So you can continue digging in this information, just writing instead of setting, because sometimes we don't remember how to do that. Now here it is, it's grouped by. Of course, the pivot table is really here. If you want to see something more, you can add this information to the list, or you can go back to the Copilot and ask for more things. Much power integration of all the stack from Microsoft. So Business Central, of course, has some KPI that's available on your dashboards that you can set up as the trial balance or get the trigger graphics that are here. But sometimes you are locked about the until what these graphics can give me the information the way that I need it. So then I can create these new graphs in the Power BI and integrate it straight on the system.
Great. Good morning, everybody. Let's start in a second. Okay. So hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today with you. My name is Felipe, and I am a technical solution architect with over 13 years of experience in digital transformation projects, particularly focused in Dynamics 365, Power Platform, Azure Cloud, and also artificial intelligence. Currently, I'm working for North America market, helping companies build this innovation and scalable solutions that is also maximize the value of technology. Today, I'm very excited to share with you these new highlights from the Wave 2 of 2024. And let's start talking about the replacements and deprecations. We all have seen technologies come and go in our daily jobs. It's just part of our jobs. And while it can be challenging to say goodbye to some of these features that we present for you now, it's also exciting to see the innovation that comes with the new technologies that we will present. It's all about moving forward, make things better, and also embrace the new possibilities that the future holds. So let's start presenting the deprecations and replacements. For the sales, as you can see also in the screen, we have some important deprecations. I will say, for example, the assistant card templates that on August 1st of 2024, the templates to create the new assistant cards won't be available anymore. And the existing cards that are created using the templates will continue to work as it is. The problem is that they will not be able to be created from this day on. Okay. On customer insights data, I will pass very quickly here because we all want to know about the new features. That is the main part of our presentation today. We have, for example, the enhanced company data enrichment that will be replaced by some alternative solutions and also the Hero environment. As you can see, we we see many alternatives for the solutions that are being deprecated and replace it. Most of them have already a new feature that is being launched that will overcome these previous ones. It's important to be to know exactly what it is. About customer service, we have some very exciting news on customer service. This is an application that have been constantly evolving, changing. When we talk about WeChat, SMS, integration, Telegram, custom messaging, and also the key custom messaging channels, this will be deprecated. And this is a feature that is also be replaced by new ones. So if you use the customer service, you'll be actually very excited to know about the AI capabilities that Microsoft is bringing for the customer service right now. On the Power Platform part, one thing that some of the customers use, but this sometimes also, well, some don't, right? So this ERI control and model-driven apps is deprecated. So from October of 2024, the hierarchy control, which is used to define inquiry hierarchically, will not be we will not have the support anymore. This will be deprecated. The control will continue to work in existing apps until April of 2025, and so you have until there to use this feature. But if you have a customer, for example, they use this constantly, it's important to intend to change this for something. Okay. Well, no more old things now. We will start to talk about what we have from new features, and we will start to talk about Power Platform. What's new in Power Platform? Starting with Power Apps. Here you see that we have some important new features. First of all, when we talk about acting on your data efficiently with new grid features, Power Apps Grid Control have numerous functions and stylist improvements that will improve the out-of-the-box experience of the users. The grids are being start to have a new UX, and this is important for you if you want to filter, if you want to analyze some data, and if you want to get more data in just one grid out. So this is an important feature that's coming with this new wave. And about grouping and aggregation, when using the Power Apps Grid Control, users can group the data now based on a single column. The groups are collapsed by default, but the users can expand and recollapse and do the feature that they want. Additionally, users can aggregate one or more numeric columns in the grid. For each column, users can choose to see the sum, minimum value, maximum value, or average of values from that column. So if grouping has been applied, this aggregate value will also be displayed for each group. These capabilities are turned on by default for the entities that are configured to use the read-only grid component and for the pipeline view. So if you use the grid component, that is the default component, you'll be able to do this kind of group and aggregation in your grid. And even about the update styling that we have on this new wave, the list mode from Power Apps Grid Control have been updated to align with the fluent styling and with some changes to the font weight, font size, to differentiate the importance of each field in the list. So you will experience some changes in the user experience here. Okay, let's continue then. Still talking about Power Apps here, about how to build modern apps and how this new wave will affect the builders. First, select columns downloaded on mobile devices in the settings of the offline enable app, the Make It portal. Now we'll be able to customize the offline profile for an optimized data loading experience for the users. For each table, it will be possible to configure and select the columns that are required in the app, and this will help the app to make cache and use less the internet. We use the suggested columns computed by the system, manually select the columns, and in the main page for the offline profile, you can see for each table how many columns are selected for download. This will help the overall performance of a Power App. About selecting records faster with lookup control, we will also have some improvements in the lookup control, mainly in the search of the lookup control, because now when we press enter directly to select the first value in the drop-down menu, the value from the from the lookup will be placed in the field that is the lookup from Power Apps. This feature will be available to all users by default. About show recent and pinned records in the multi-session sitemap. The recent and pinned records from the sitemap have been extended to the multi-session app. This will improve productivity of users returning to the same records when the multi-session app is started, as well as when users are moving between single session and multi-session apps. About also the update that will happen in the next wave. Every time that we have a wave, we can select if we want to apply it now or if we want to apply it in a scheduled manner. Now in 2024 release wave 1, existing model-driven apps and Power Apps environments had the auto behavior for the app release channel field, changed to monthly channel, and now makers and admin can select semi-annual channel option. This will happen that the updates and improvements will be released in your environment with a slowly cadence when needed. The idea is to empower makers and admins to say when they want these waves to be applied. Now, with the 2024 release wave 2, Microsoft is making the next phase of changing of improvements, even for Dynamics 365 model-driven apps. And if this field is on monthly channel, that means that monthly your environment will receive new improvements and upgrades soon as they are available. If you select semi-annual channel option, then you receive a slower release cadence when needed. Okay, so about the modern workspace, the modern UI, sorry, when we are talking about refreshing lists and refreshing grids. With 2024 release wave 2, users of the monthly release channel will always see the modern refreshed look for model-driven apps. This new look will provide updated styling, including fonts, colors, borders, shadows, and more that will align to the latest Microsoft Fluent design system. As you can see, we have multiple UX and UI improvements in this new wave for Power Apps that are going to be placed in the next months. Also, if you are working with Power Apps or with Dynamics 365 for a while, for sure, you know this legacy web control. Why we are calling it legacy? Because this is mainly with no updates since the Dynamics 2011. But now, with the Power Platform environment settings, we have everything in modern Power App. All the environment settings will be placed in a modern Power App. This Power App, we call it Power Platform environment settings. The idea is to provide the same security, access control, and extensibility features for the admins as the existing legacy experience. The feature that is being launched is also organized into a set of incremental rollouts, beginning with the replacement of the settings application itself and follows with updates. Any existing extension that have been created by customers to extend the settings sitemap will be preserved, and any solution imports that include extensions to settings will be also honored and routed to Power Platform Environment Settings app. As part of this initial release, the Power Platform Environment Settings app, the existing links for advanced settings from various locations in Power Platform will be redirected from the legacy settings web client to the new Power Platform Environment Settings app. If you are used to use the legacy web client, now you'll be redirected to the Power Platform Environment Settings app. And until this feature reaches general availability, tenant or environment administrations may turn off the Advanced Settings app redirection in the Advanced Settings redirection option in the environment configuration in the Power Platform Admin Center. So it will be possible to turn this feature off if you don't want to use it for now, because this will start as a preview. It will have launches and updates. So you can decide whenever is best for you to start using the Power Platform Environment Settings app. Another interesting feature is about work together in real time to create Canvas app. This is also something that Microsoft is bringing for the Power Platform, mainly here in the community, because the idea is that in the past, it is impossible to two makers to create Canvas app at the same time. And now this will be possible because now we can enable on Power Apps Studio a feature called co-authoring. This will be in the menu settings, updates, preview, and set the co-authoring to go to on. So this is a feature that is in preview, but the developers already can start working together to create their Canvas app using the co-authoring feature. This will help multiple makers to collaborate, edit the Canvas app, and at the same time have a similar experience that they have in Microsoft PowerPoint and Microsoft Word. This will empower the teams to accelerate their app development lifecycle and supercharge their collaboration in Power Apps Studio, because now we will not be a line anymore to develop, but we can really have teams and developers empowered to develop Canvas app at the same time. Developers, makers, or whoever is developing this Power App. About reviewing column suggestions from Copilot and model-driven apps. When we are building new forms in Vue for model-driven apps, Copilot can help. Now, of course, that in the past releases, we had the experiences in Copilot to just ask Copilot to create a Power App in a way that we just describe the app, and then the Copilot can start creating the tables, create the forms, and even create the screens and views for us. And now this is being improved because we will also receive some suggestions in Dataverse about the table schema that we have, the name that we're given for the columns and for tables if provided, the description of the view, the description of the form. This will also now be present in Copilot. The tenant admin have also to turn this on if he wants the team and himself to start using. This is on the Power Apps Maker Copilot app. There is no need for any additional setup or configuration. It's just using the Power Apps Maker Copilot app. Start using and start empowering the team to use it. Copilot is ready to assist you in creating your model-driven apps, as in the past it also was just used for for the Canvas app. Now he's present in the model-driven app as well. About visualization and work with complex data using Copilot, Power Apps today use the what you see is what you get pattern that will perceive it by its makers for app building. However, when it comes to setting up the data model behind the app for the suitable business logic, makers, experience it or not, will still have to deal with the plain schema view of their tables and relationship as the only possible option. And now, following the same philosophy we bear for app building experiences, we are introducing a new modeling experiences through what you see is what you get editor, where makers can create multiple tables with relationships from scratch, external data sources, conversations with the assistant of copilots. And through the new data model editor, tables and relationships will be visualized in an entity relationship diagram view, making it also easier to understand how tables and various other data objects work hand in hand. Moreover, with the assistance of copilots, makers can be more predictive because now it is possible to create complex data model consisting of several tables and relationships, along with this simple data in just a few clicks and describing this data to Copilot itself. Here, some more features in building and editing apps in Copilot. So in Power Apps Studio, makers will be able to use Copilot, but it's important to also highlight that this feature will be released in some geographic areas. So please consult our slide deck when we send that to you, or in the Microsoft Learn, to check if the Copilot for makers in the Power Apps Studio is available on your geographic area. Let's start talking about Power Automate. Well, cloud flows are automatically defined in Dataverse solution. So many benefits are available when cloud flows are added to the Dataverse solutions, including the ability to use features like environments, variable, and solutions. The idea is to simplify the deployment process between environment. For example, for development, test, and production, now we will have improvements on how cloud flows are stored. Solutions also make it easier to organize and manage a large number of flows by providing a natural grouping. In the past, some of these flows were not stored in the Dataverse. When makers create non-solution cloud flows, they are stored just in the database from the Power Platform. That is not Dataverse, it's a part of it. But with this change, cloud flows will be now stored in Dataverse by default, providing an ability to migrate these flows outside solutions to solutions in a simple manner. This will simplify the administration process and unlock new maker experiences. On the cloud flows today in Power Automate, we have this modern designer that have increased the capabilities from the past waves. And now a new feature has been launched to the modern designer. And now we'll be able to add manual triggers such that the flow runs on demand. Click a button from the portal or mobile. We will be able to add input parameters like text, yes or no, date, email, file, that parameters and variables that we already are used to, and more when triggering the flow. However, if any of these input parameters should be optional, drop-down or multi-select fields, the capability didn't yet exist in the modern design, just in the classic design. But the idea of this update is that we will be able to mark any input parameter in the manual trigger in modern design as optional, multi-select or drop-down included. Okay, so this is very important for the makers. Some improvements in the productivity with generative answers. With the Power of Copilot generative answers functionality, the Power of AI, we'll be able to easily find the information we need to create and manage the flows that we have, and any other aspect of Power Automate for desktop. The idea is that generative answers are integrated into the Power Automate for Desktop UI in both the console and the designer, making it easy to access and use. Just typing the question in natural language, and Copilot will provide with the most relevant information and documentation. To use it, just we'll be able to select Copilot icon in the console or design UI, and we'll be able to start getting answers to our questions. Copilot more and more being present in our daily work. In Power Automate, we'll be able to create reusable collections of UI elements. So the UI elements were isolated to individual desktop flows. This maybe have required us to duplicate the same UI element for multiple flows, and now we'll be able to reuse them. Reuse some collections, empowering the creators and administrations with a centralized oversight control, and we'll be able to check where this specific UI element is being used for which flows. These collections of UI elements can be shared among numerous users and integrating it into various desktop flows as reusable modules. Consequently, should an application undergo an update, a one-time adjustment to the UI elements collections is required, and this single update will update all desktop flows linked to the collection within the same environment. This will automatically reflect any changes that are needed to that specific UI element for the desktop flow. More and more Copilot, again, being placed for us. And now we can use Copilot to analyze the work that we have. The idea is to help Copilot to help us to automate centers and to automate our work with a multi-skill experiences, enable the users to ask questions about cloud flows and desktop flows, activity, work queues, and even features of Power Automate. Copilot will be able to answer questions like, show me the number of items that are on hold, show me the number of items that are at risk of breaching SLA, what's the average handling time per processor, machine, and queue. These are some of the features that Copilot will bring for us. This will improve and boost our productivity, and we'll be able to focus more and more in what we need. On AI Builder, now we have some new models being taking place. The admins can now enable or disable extensions credits for AI Builder. In the past, we need to configure the request and extension button, but it was hard to control who will use the amount of credits that AI Builder have. So this feature will allow admins now to decide in a free credit extension if a free credit extension can be requested by the users. Without this feature, the request and extension button was always proposed to makers in AI Builder models pages and to admins when an environment is an overage. Now we can get on top of it. And with AI Builder, we will be able to extend the Copilot capabilities with GPT-4. So if you want to use GPT-4 with AI Builder, this is also be possible. And if you want to extend your Copilot, giving him more knowledge, more information, this is also possible. Again, we have some geographic areas where this is present, and some geographic areas this is not a feature that is present yet. So you can consult our slide deck when we send that to you, or also check the Microsoft Learn. About GPT output formats in JSON with Prompt Builder. So Prompt Builders gives us the possibility to generate and test the specific output formats directly in the AI Builder Prompt Builder experience. This will allow the makers to use Prompt Builder across multiple scenarios that go beyond text generation. In particular, these scenarios include in the context of automation or to extend app behaviors where reliable data formatting is paramount. As part of public preview, JSON formatting is the first output format supported. AI Builder prompts generating JSON formats are accessible from Power Automate, Power Apps, including PCF control, and custom copilots. And Copilot Studio, now we can add suggested prompts to custom copilots. So when the maker is creating their Copilot extension, they now will be able to add suggested prompts that Copilot will support. In this case, on Office 365 chat experiences, these will be highlighted in the center of the page with title and description, rotated and prominently displayed at the start of each session. For other channels, this functionality will be present with appropriated experiences for a specific channel. And what is very exciting about Copilot Studio is that now we'll be able to alter our bots not only to chat, but also to IVR. We'll be able to use voice channel with Dynamics 365 Omnichannel or with Dynamics 365 Contact Center, that is a brand new application. And this IVR feature is a very nice feature that is being taken place in the next months. So this is very exciting. On Dataverse, we have some security new features being in place. Now we have some event-driven automated scan for all security roles and continuous monitoring. This to help us to continuous monitoring, ensuring that we have real-time identification of something that is non-compliant, reducing manual oversight. This is mainly if you have already set up your Center of Excellence in Power Platform, and if you are using the Center of Excellence in your environment, what we recommend, and also Microsoft. But we have more and more features being released to these solutions of Center of Excellence, even for the security roles risk assessment. And this will appear for you as compliant or no compliant based on the rules that you have set it. For assisted mapping on standard data flows, the idea of this feature is that it will update the current load to existing table option within standard data flows in Power Platform. The idea is to provide general UI updates and functionality to recommend what existing Dataverse tables new data should be mapped to. Once a target Dataverse table is selected, this feature will also provide recommendations for how the columns should be mapped and alert users to any type mismatches. Again, this is available just in some geographic areas. Check if this is available for you. We are being provided to the possibility to bypass some business logic for hassle-free migration. The capabilities that are planned involves the custom synchronization, custom async features for APIs, another property called custom all using both of both worlds, Microsoft plugins, bypass steps ID, audit track enable, and Microsoft plugin steps marked as can be disabled, can be bypassed. This is even a new privilege that Microsoft is being deploying. The idea is that we can select what can be bypassed and what cannot be bypassed, and who can select exactly what can be bypassed. So if we want to do a migration, this will be very useful because sometimes we want just to bypass a plugin, and this we will be able to just configure this as needed. And even for Power Platform and for Copilot, makers now will be able to add some knowledge tables to the Copilot itself, to the Copilot source, as a truly no-code manner. if you want to your Copilot to understand data about your Dataverse, about your Azure SQL table, about a specific PDF on your SharePoint or on your OneDrive, or even upload a standard PDF, you can just send this information to the Copilot, and it will part of its knowledge. And from then on, he can start answering any question that you want based on your data. And this on this we end the part from Power Platform. We will start to talk about Dynamics 365 CE right now. And just for me to move on, I don't know if everybody have any questions or if we have anything on the chat that I need to answer. Let me just check. On the chat, we don't have any questions. Anybody have any additional thing that any questions? If no, I can proceed. Okay, I will proceed then. In the end, we have more time to talk about questions and answers. Okay. We will start to talk about Dynamics 365 CE. And first of all, we will start talking about the sales model. So on the sales model, as you can see, we have some important new features using Copilot when we want to summarize the lengthy emails using Copilot. If you received an email that is lengthy, now Copilot can help you just to summarize, to highlight, and to answer what you need directly in the sales workspace, in the Sales Hub screen. Here, Copilot it will be present, name it as Sales Copilot. Again, now we will be able to elevate the sales pitch using Copilot and Mail Assistance. Multiple features are being launched, but now we will be able to properly understand how the Copilot will be able to understand the email that we have received and how to answer it, what is the tone that we want to use. And of course, Copilot will give us a suggestion of what it thinks that it is understandable and what he feels that is right. But we can also change this as we want. So this are creating stronger and stronger connections between the agent itself, the salesperson, and the Copilot. And on the 360-degree view with Account AI generated summary, here we are receiving improvements on how we look at our customers. Now, as an admin, we will be able to enable Copilot account summary for any Dynamics 365 application. Also, we will be able to configure the entities and fields to using for create the account summary. The idea is that Copilot can help us analyze our accounts based on our relationship with this account. And as a seller, we will be able to get the 360-degree view of the account based on what the administrator have built. We'll be able to view a summary of the associated opportunities, know about the leads, learn the latest news about the account, and we will no longer need to expend excessive time shifting through scattering information all over the place about where are my opportunities, where are my quotes, where are my sales orders and invoices. Now, with Copilot, we can start asking questions, start summarizing, and start creating graphics and charts, and in only just one page, what is pretty easier. And about the AI innovation that we have on Copilot, now we can have dashboards to coach sellers using AI. So the managers can stay in touch with their field and sellers using the new Manager Insights dashboard. This is a dashboard that only if you have a manager secret role, this will be available for you. But on it, you see the customer sentiment correlation with keywords and competitor mentions, conversational style correlations to do with outcomes, conversational KPIs over time, holistic view of sellers' performance, as well as insights into conversation patterns that close deals, messaging performance in the field, and customer perceptions of the competitive landscape, and sales-oriented filters such as call time and length, seller, connected record status, campaign, and even much more, all powered by GPT and AI. On the Copilot for sales, it's important for us to understand that the salespersons will have more and more AI features for their important work. And now they will be able to share key email info generated by Copilot for Sales from Outlook to any individual chats, group chats, or channels in Teams. With Teams enabled within your organization, this seamless integration will be accessible through the Copilot for Sales app in Outlook, requiring no additional setup. Note that Copilot AI features must be enabled for your organization, so you'll be able to use Copilot with modern working Microsoft Teams. Another detail here is that we will have insights on how we are prompting the Copilot. The idea is that Copilot for Sales bot in Microsoft Teams channels automatically scan conversations for relevant discussions and action items. And when it identifies potential tasks, it will prompt you and other sales team members with a notification seeking your agreement to create the task. The idea is that the AI is looking on what we are doing to help us to be more productive on it. On customer insights, this is a very exciting feature because now we can onboard customer data from your Delta Lake with no data integration. The idea is to save time because in the past we need to create transformation pipelines that convert the data lake into another format and then ingest this in customer insight. But now we can get the Delta Lake directly on our customer insight without much effort with this new release, with this new feature release. On the customer insight journeys, now in the real-time journeys email insights, now we'll be able to have more of a comprehensive device data, including operating systems that our users have and what they are using to access the emails, the chats that we have with them. We will be able to improve the way that we design the content because now we know exactly which browsers they're using, which device types, about details of the session time that we have. So the idea here on customer insights is to empower the designers to really understand the customer that we have, and then from this part on, start to plan the events, plan the marketing campaigns, and plan what technologies will be used to a specific market campaign. On customer insights data, and this is a significant improvement in the Microsoft Database Connector because now if you are using customer insights data, we will be able to import largest database tables with the highest level of performance and reliability possible. You'll be able to select the tables that you want to import and filter what you want to filter. After this, you will enable the incremental processing of data and other great advantages of this, and then you'll be able to start using Dataverse Connector with the tables that you already did and with the filters that you need. So this is a very significant improvement in the Microsoft Dataverse connector for this important application that is the customer insights that help us to know better our customers. On the customer service part, we have improvements in the experience of the agents. So the agents will be able now to manage cases more efficiently with enhanced case controls. With this enhancement that have been planned, the out-of-the-box case form in customer service workspace, case for multi-session experiences will allow the agents to perform some of the actions of these actions. So the agents will be able to take notes during case creation. They will be able to view and upload multiple attachments directly to the case, access all the attachments related to a case in the consolidated view, quickly get up to speed on the activities due to a case, identify case fields using color-coded icons through the option set wrapper control, and all these capabilities will be enabled by default on the out-of-the-box case form. The idea here is to make the agents more productive, more efficient when they are creating and managing cases. And the agents will also be empowered with the possibility to compose emails using Copilot and use the AI. And with the enhanced email attachment experiences, the agents will be able to add the attachments by drag and drop them to the email, to copy attachments from one or more emails and paste it into the other email, download an attached mail as an attachment to another email, book download, and deletion of attachments. They'll be able to see the attachment size in the appropriate units, toggle between the tile and grid views, export attachments details to Excel, receive reminders to add attachments before saving an email, and add previously used attachments. So it's a UX and UI improvement, of course. But this will help the users to be more productive when they are writing emails directly on the customer service. And with Copilot, what we have is the possibility to extend Copilot with plugins. With plugins for Copilot in customer service, the administrators and developers will be able to reduce the need for customer service representatives to switch to other tabs and tools to do their work. When we create a plugin for Copilot, the users will be able to receive the data they want only in one screen, based on the data that we feed this in this plugin. This is also a feature that is available just on some geographic areas. So check this before implanting it. And about the unified routing, this is something that the administrators will like very much, because they will be able to manage the updates that they have on a specific queue. For example, the administrators won't have to wait for 15 minutes for agent queue membership update to reflect in the system. Now we will have a real-time queue membership update, and then agents can take work in their new queues immediately after an administration change the configuration for a specific queue. They won't receive work from removed queues, but this will reduce the waiting times due to reroutes and reconfiguration of the queue routing. The Copilot for service, here we are providing meeting summary and follow-up to create CRM tasks. So the capability that will be enabled through this feature is that service-specific summary and follow-up items will be provided in the Teams recap if the user has used Copilot for service into the meeting. So CRM task can be created after Copilot is present in a specific meeting. Okay, about contact center. Contact center, it's a new model from Dynamics 365. It's a model of CRM that can replace legacy contact center systems, but also can be present in many CRMs, many ERPs. Does not need customer service to be in place. It's a standalone contact center from customer service that can be also attached to other features and applications like Salesforce, SAP, does not matter. Contact Center comes with a very empowered AI feature for IVRs and also chatbots. Well, starting talking about the contact center, the application insights have already some improvements. You see that when we assign something to a specific agent, we'll be able to better trace using application insights by offering the visibility of this trace. Organizations can refine their routing configurations for optimal efficiency and serving their customers. And for the agent experience, the agents now can search for customers in the outbound dialer. The enhance that happen here is in the outbound dialing experiences that will enable the agent to place a call by searching for a customer contact or account from the outbound dialer. And also check the customer record in the call history. The Microsoft Copilot Studio-based bots also have some new features to gather customer feedback and configure contextual actions depending on that feedback. On Microsoft Copilot Studio, you have more and more features that will help you to centralize, unify process between the conversation that your customer is having with the IVR or with the chatbot. Here also is present the possibility to extend Copilot with plugins. If you want the Copilot to have more information or to improve the capabilities for your agents, it is possible to reduce the need for the customer service representatives to switch to other tabs by just creating a plugin. And this is also enabled for Contact Center. And on the IVR capabilities for Contact Center, these are one of the most exciting features from it. Now, on Contact Center IVR capabilities, we can just talk as we are talking with a human without the need of just dialing 1, 2, or 3 when we want to navigate in our IVR. Now, we have a real AI agent on the other side just listening to our English that does not need to be perfect. And the AI is capable of answering our customers and process work and process information. However, a customer has to explicitly consent to being recorded if needed. If you configure the recording, you can also configure the AI to ask the user or to say the user that he's being recorded. This is something that is present on some geographic areas, so also please check. About omni-channel customer experiences on Contact Center, we can use customer service omni-channel feature or not. But if we want to play pre-recorded audio during bot processing delays, when a bot maybe is processing some customer request and we want to understand what is happening to avoid a call disconnection, we can do it. We play a pre-recorded audio that had took place in that specific case or in that specific thing. On the unified routing, this is something that is very close of what we found in the customer service. And here we can configure exactly how we are route everything based on the chat that we are using. If we are using something like Facebook, the channel Facebook, WhatsApp, SMS, no matter what, we can say we can allow our customers to respond on their own schedule while preserving the conversation continually between the channels, and the unified routing will work anyway. Okay. And if we have queues with lengthy wait times, we can define a contingency plan for it. After the manager analyzes the queues and the wait times, it's now possible to define contingency plans. For example, send this to another queue, send this to a specific agent. Well, this is up to your process, but it's important to understand that now we can define contingency plan for queues that have a long wait time. On field services, we have some improvements on usability of the scheduled board. Now we have some user experience that it's being enhanced. The performance of the scheduled board also have been improved. We have a feature called Future Proof, where this new architecture is up to date with the latest advancement in web technology, which improves maintenance and upgradability, and usability and modernization improvements on the scheduled board for field service. So the idea is to make our schedulers for the agents in field easily. On governance and administrations, we as administrators now can configure dev environments in a default deployment pipeline. The default deployment pipeline rule will enable admins to set up a pipeline for all makers within the development environments in their environments. Grouping this by pipeline host, selecting a specific pipeline, create and edited pipelines in the deployment hub. The idea is that we can use the dev environments more and more. Remember, this is the environment of type developer, not sandbox, but now we can use this in pipeline rules to deploy our applications and our solutions better. This will be placed in the Power Platform Admin Center. On Power Pages, now the upload files is being up to 10 gigabytes in Microsoft Azure Blob Storage. So if you are using Blob Storage in Power Pages, you'll be able to increase file size limits up to 10 gigabytes per file upload in Blob Storage. So this is huge. And also, it's something that we need to use with precaution. But it's interesting to know that the file size have been upgraded if we are using Azure Blob Storage. On Microsoft Fabric, what we have is that in the past, Power BI was part of the Power Platform. And as you can see, this is the new design from Microsoft Fabric. Power BI now is placed in the Microsoft Fabric ecosystem and not in Power Platform ecosystem anymore. Together with other data analysis and data lake features, data warehouse features. And Power BI AI is being brought to Power BI more and more. With Power BI being part now of Fabric, it is also interesting because we will be able to use Fabric Copilot to use also Power BI. The idea is to create descriptions for semantic model measures. And with these descriptions, the Copilot can create the measures for us and can create the DAX formulas for us of these specific measures. This will help us to be more productive when using Copilot this is part of the Fabric Copilot. Okay. So thank you very much. Hope that you have enjoyed these new features from Microsoft and this new release wave. We have some very exciting highlights here. The complete slide deck will be sent to you after our meeting. And also, please also check Microsoft Learn website, so you have more and more details about it there. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Felipe. As you guys saw, I mean, there's a lot of AI now infused into all business applications in Microsoft. That's the main area of investment with copilots. And that's a very important trend that we take very seriously. We really believe that AI is going to become kind of the front layer to all business processes. Right? So we have been investing a lot also in capabilities within our team so we can help you adopt AI in the best way possible. Just as a quick wrap up, I'd like to talk about two of our offers, which might be of interest to you, considering this trend around AI and the strong investment that Microsoft is doing in this. We have an offer which will help you understand what Microsoft is offering around AI, what are the copilots, and what are the other possibilities for developing AI-infused processes within your organization, and then also to define what will be a good way to start. What are processes that you can start adopting now? So it's a tailored workshop where we talk about your processes with you and discuss what the technology from Microsoft can do for you. This is an 8-hour workshop, and we encourage you to reach out to us, ask more if you're interested. And in addition to that, I mean, if you are one of those who still did not migrate to the cloud, so you're still on an older Dynamics version, remember that there is a very interesting promo for Microsoft to help you migrate. They will assume a nice portion of the costs of your change in licenses. And also for the assessment, I mean, we can also help you evaluating the efforts, right? And getting you prepared for this migration. So those are the two things I wanted to leave you with. One is for your AI needs, for understanding what Microsoft can give you in terms of AI, talk to us. And if you need to migrate to the cloud, and if you're still there, let us know. We can also help you. Okay. Yeah. So thank you very much for attending this workshop. And we look forward to continue working with you in your transformation journey. Thank you very much.